today at FilmFest, who is AvaJean Westland, also Gamilla, right? And I
Close.
have
Gamila.
Gamila,
There you go.
and who is Miss Colour of Couture this year, and wearing a fabulous outfit as always can always make me jealous of her outfits. And AJ, we work together on quite a few projects.
Yes.
You have made machinima, which we're going to take a look at and talk about. You're also well known as an actress, both on stage and screen in Second Life. How did you get involved in Second Life in the first place?
Oh, wow. I haven't had to think of this for quite a while. I joined Second Life in 2007 during the height of it. I actually wanted to join before. I was thinking about it, but I was busy playing The Sims and I thought, oh, it's the same thing. And of course, I was dead wrong. So a few years before when it first started. So in 2007, I started seeing, all the hype and news about it. And I said, I had thought about joining this place before. Now that I'm hearing a little bit more about it, I said, let me join now. And so I joined then and never looked back. I have been a member ever since.
Fantastic. And when did you get into the actual, you are a real life actress, but when did you get into the acting and the filmmaking? How quickly did you become aware of the potential for that?
Fairly soon. I'm sure everyone here knows how difficult it is when you first come into Second Life, unless someone brings you in. You really don't know what to do with yourself outside of trying to make yourself look decent, learning how to walk and fly, and meeting people. And I love doing that. But I would say within the first year, I got connected to the Shakespeare, Second Life Shakespeare, and I being an actor, I of course was immediately drawn to it, and I love Shakespeare, and so I did some productions with them, which was great. And then I met other people, and then I became part of art, which no longer exists, but was the Avatar Repertory Theater, and I was a part of that. So up until that point, I was only doing live theater and Second Life, which I love, which was a challenge, and I love a challenge. And so I did that initially for the first couple of years that I was here. And then a few years in, I would say probably around 2010 or so, I started hearing about this thing called machinima, and that it was basically animation but done in a virtual world. And I cannot tell you to this day how it found me or I found it. I have no recollection, but as soon as I heard about it, I wanted to be involved.
I remember us doing a project in 2010, so
There
maybe
you
I'm
go.
to blame. Yeah.
You might be. Oh, you know what? And then I was involved in a couple of the 48-hour film festivals doing machinima with Susie Yu. And so I got to know even more people that way. And I even got paid projects that I got paid to do things for IBM back when the companies were still in Second Life. So that's how I got into machinima.
Right, because yes, I remember Susie Yu did some really interesting videos back in the day.
Exactly.
She's still doing them now, actually. She's quite productive.
Well, she hasn't done anything in a few years, but that's because in her personal life, we're actually real life friends now, and she has a very, very busy RL life, but she is itching to get back to it. Trust me. We talk about it all the time.
Oh, that's what I heard then.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's itching to get back, and I'm sure as soon as she can, she will.
That's excellent. Well, we'll have to send her encouraging messages via you then. Come back.
Absolutely. Exactly. Get back
Hey,
here.
we miss
Need
you.
you. Yes, and we miss you and we need you.
Okay, so what was your first machinima?
It was doing the IBM projects with Susie and Susie's super casting crew. Those were my first machinima projects as strictly an actor. just strictly as an actor, or puppeteer, because as you all know, when you do machinima, you're also puppeteering your
Mm.
avatar or a avatar. So that was my first job in machinima. In fact, back then we didn't even call it machinima; we just called it video.
Right. Yes. So when did you make your first one?
Back in 2008, I made my first one. One of the things that really blew my mind about Second Life, besides everything that we already know about Second Life, was all the possibilities. First of all, you could do some sort of animation without having to be an animator, which I loved the idea of. And it just seemed to me that it was more freeing, that you could really push the boundaries with Second Life. You could do subject matter that was a little bit more risque because it was basically animation. And
Mm.
so my first machinima project that I wrote was called Virtually News with AvaJean Westland, and basically it's a parody of news programs, taking real life situations that were happening at the time in the news and just having fun with them and exploring it. Because I love pop culture, I love taking things that are happening in current time and making fun of them because I think that's the only way we could survive them. And so I came up with my very first episode of that, which was a challenge in itself because I had never done that before. I had, produced live theater in Second Life, but I had been in machinima, but I had never written, directed, produced, filmed. It was all new to me, so I was learning as I went.
I think we can actually see it. So I'll show that one now on the
Okay,
screen. Oh,
great.
Okay. So for the people
okay.
in the audience, just double click in the middle. And if you can't see the movie, then Saffia just gave the link. Let's
Yeah, let
watch.
me put it. That's
Oh
the
yeah.
link to YouTube. Okay. And just click the button and here we go.
Thank you, Eli. I should put that on a pillow. I should have embroidered that on something.
Oh,
By the
this
way,
is
guys,
great.
the cute twerking little cat Tiny is our own Saffia Widdershins.
Yep.
Ah, you should have told us before. Oh, I'm going to watch that again.
I think I'm also one of the extras in the gym, but I can't remember. Long time ago. But yeah, Widdershins came and twerked.
Yes. But I had such a ball doing that. I can't begin to tell you. I loved every step of it. It was a very belabored process, but man, did I love doing it. I loved writing it. I loved planning it. I loved everything. And I learned so much. I learned about editing. That was my first time really editing and using editing software. And it's a great skill to have, but I learned it on the fly in real time.
Right. So, what were you actually using to do that?
Well, I used a product that I actually still use sometimes called AVS for You. It's a very inexpensive. They have a bunch of products, and their products are great. They tend to be a little buggy, but if you know what the bugs are, they're still quite usable and very cost effective. They're not free, but they're very inexpensive, and they always have sales. And what I liked about it is I didn't have to use Fraps. They had their own screen capture software in the products, so I was able to not only edit, I was actually able to film my machinima with their products and then edit them with their products, and that's what I used for the editing process, filming and editing. Before that, the and I know Saffia knows this well because I know she does. I'm traditional and I storyboard. So I use storyboarding software and I storyboard everything out because I really want to make sure that I get every shot that I want. And I'm a real stickler for trying to have everything scheduled as best as possible. So, but in terms of editing and filming, I used the AVS for You products back then.
Right. Have you updated? What are you using now?
Well, I haven't done anything recent. Well, that's not true. I have some things that are sort of in the can waiting to be edited, but this was still with AVS that I shot. I was starting to, and I now have Adobe Premiere, but the files that I made with AVS for You just don't work in Adobe Premiere very well. So I'm going to, when I have to finish editing the ones that I've already shot, I will use AVS for those. For the remaining parts of this project, I will use probably Bandicam or something else to shoot, and then I will use Adobe Premiere to edit.
A lot of people are now using OBS.
I've been hearing about it, and I'm thinking of trying it out. I have not used it yet, but I think I'm going to check it out to see if I like it better.
The advantage of it is, of course, it's free. It's an open source project.
Nothing wrong with that. Love a free product. So I'm going to check that out before I continue.
Yeah, OBS doesn't have all the possibilities for edit, of course, that Adobe has, but it's very light and good quality. You can stream, you can record. It's, we're all taking a shine to it, aren't we?
Yes. I mean, I'm still using Fraps, but I think I'm going to have to start experimenting with it.
Well, the advantage of Fraps is that it's raw footage, so you can turn it into anything. The files are really, really big, but the quality is the very best. Really, nothing beats Fraps. And that it's like $35 and subscription for life, but the only thing you can do with it is film. And you can't edit with it.
No.
The files are really big, though.
That's good to know that it's. I haven't updated it, right, Fraps?
No, they haven't updated it since 2013. I spent evenings chatting with the creator. He used to be in Second Life, and I think he was last online in 2012.
Oh wow!
But people are still buying it and using it. It just depends which kind of project it is, right?
Okay.
the I guess the interesting thing about it, with Adobe products, you end up having to pay the subscription that goes every month or every year, depending how you do it.
Right.
And they keep updating it, but I sometimes feel they're updating it almost for the sake of updating it so they can say, hey, we've given you a new version. Whereas what they've done is change the position of a few buttons.
Right. Very, very
Which is
true.
often more irritating than,
Yeah, because then you can't find anything. Like they've recently updated the titles, the legacy titles.
Oh, yeah.
God, and I was in the middle of a project and I thought, okay, never update during a project. Never ever do that. I did, and I couldn't even create titles anymore. It took me
Oh, no.
hours. And yeah, they tend to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, they keep asking me every time I'm doing an Omega Hex episode. They keep saying, "Oh, do you want to update titles?" And I'm like, "No,
Don't. Oh, please don't.
Please don't.
please don't do that."
Don't. Yeah.
Okay, now we have got a little film of some of your real life work, some of your recent real life work. Can you tell us little about your real life career?
Absolutely. I am proud to be able to call myself a working actor. I've been working for over 20 years. In fact, I joined the Screen Actors Guild, which is now called SAG-AFTRA, in 1996. So that's how long I've been at this. So quite a bit of time. And I'm based out of New York. I'm in New York City. And I started out just like I did in Second Life. I started out in theater first, as most New York actors do. And I love theater. And then I moved into mostly commercials for quite a number of years. I worked almost solely in commercials, which was great because it pays the bills, it gives you insurance, and I love doing commercials. I still love doing commercials whenever I get to do them. And then I started to segue into TV and film. And predominantly now, I mostly work in TV and film, mostly in TV, some film, and I've just started within the last 5 years slowly moving back to theater for quite a while because I have a husband who has health issues. I really couldn't focus on theater because, to be honest with you, unless you're doing Broadway, theater might be the most fulfilling for many people, including myself, but it also pays the least and takes the longest amount of time out of your schedule. So for me, theater wasn't an option for a long time. But now I'm getting back to it slowly. So mostly now I work in TV and film, mostly television. So the clips that you're going to see are from two projects that I worked on recently. One is a Showtime show called Billions, which is in its sixth season, and I'm in the current season in a few episodes. And then the other is from a new show that's on NBC called The Endgame. And I'm in both. I'm in a few episodes. Well, actually, I was only in one episode of that, but both a lot of fun, both great projects to work on. I really enjoyed them.
Okay. So let me set up the screen and
All right.
we can show those.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. And just letting you know, if you haven't seen The Endgame, if you're watching it, if you haven't seen episode 6, you might get a little bit of spoilers. So just pre-warning you. Hey, Pans, I love you too. Oh, I see a loading error. Oh, Lord.
No, hang on. It should be
Okay.
okay now. Yeah, we got it. It should be okay now. You should be able to click on the
Yes.
screen.
Everybody that should see me with my gold necklace and my outfit on. I'm opposite Corey Stoll, who's the new star of Billions. That's me with that very weird look on my face.
Okay. Right, so is this the beginning? No, it says 3:39. I may need to. Okay.
It is
Right.
not. I don't think that's, I don't remember. I
I
put this
hear
together
you.
last night for you guys. I don't remember. I was so tired. No, it starts off with the end game.
Wow. Wow. Those are terrific.
Oh, very impressive. Where was that last scene from?
That was from the Showtime show called Billions.
Ah, I've never seen that. So, but you're playing there against the actor that was in. Oh, what's it about the president? The famous
Oh,
series.
Corey Stoll,
I think
the actor
so.
Corey.
Yeah,
That's his name, the bald guy, Corey Stoll.
yeah, yeah,
Lovely guy. We're both
yeah.
native New Yorkers, actually. We're unicorns in the acting industry. Both native New Yorkers who work out in New York. But
Very.
yeah, it was great working on both of those projects. And by the way, the first clip that you all saw in the end game, that window, I did not go out that window. That was a stunt woman, but that window was not there, and it was about 30 degrees Fahrenheit when we shot
Wow.
it. I spent the entire day just shaking. I think I lost 10 pounds just shaking all day. I was so cold. I was so bloody cold. But other than that, it was a fantastic shoot.
I think the first thing I saw you in was a series of insurance commercials where you were the sort of cheerful person on the end of the phone who was hearing all these unlikely stories, and they were hilarious.
Oh no, that wasn't insurance. That was Ally Bank.
Right.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Hilarious ads.
I didn't even think to put any of my commercial clips in here. Sorry about that, folks. But I actually did I did a Geico commercial, but it hasn't aired yet. So hopefully it will. Yes, swim where you please. I loved saying that line. That was fun. Shooting Billions was just so awesome.
That was wonderful. You were so kick-ass.
Thank you. Yeah. So the first one I'm a judge, and the second one I'm the first female mayor of New York. So that was a lot of fun. Really loved it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ty. I hope I'm saying that right. Timka or Tyamka. Thank you. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. I don't get to show real life stuff very often in Second Life that I do. So this is a real treat. And thank you for all the positive feedback. I appreciate it.
We don't tend to see American shows over here for ages.
Right.
So we're and it's sort of serendipity when I see you. Like I was watching Homeland, and it's like,
oh, Homeland, right.
oh God, that's AJ.
Yeah. Do you get blue bloods over there in England?
I don't think so, no.
No,
Okay.
me neither.
Okay, because I've done a lot of episodes of Blue Bloods.
Wow. I heard of it, but not seen it.
Yeah, it's really amazing because almost every scene that I've been in has been with Tom Selleck, and he's a lovely man and really down to earth. And what's funny about it,
yeah.
oh God, he's up there in age, and he still looks fantastic. It's amazing.
Wow.
And I remember one day, I forgot. This was just a few years ago. I'm sitting there. We're talking. When you're on the set, you have a lot of waiting, a lot of downtime as you're waiting, as they're changing the cameras and they're changing the lights or something happens. So there's a lot of waiting in between takes. And so, you sit and you talk. And so I'm sitting there talking to Tom Selleck. And on the outside, everything looks fine because it's just an actor talking to another actor, person talking to another person. We know each other. He knows who I am. He knows my nickname, which is Gams. He knows that, or he calls me Gammy. And so, it's great. But I'm sitting there talking very calmly like I'm talking to you all right now. But on the inside was 12-year-old me who used to watch a Magnum PI and 3 Men and a Little Baby. And I'm just drying my nails going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh
Yeah.
I never let him know that, but on the inside I was just screaming.
Yeah. Complete squeeze.
Yeah, complete 12-year-old. That's like, if somebody had told me at 12, you're going to meet this man, you're going to work with this man, I would have been like, yeah, sure, okay, right. So the fact that I am is sometimes blows my mind. When I realize this is Tom Selleck sitting across from me right now. I'm talking to Tom Selleck. Oh my God, my life is great. So and I've gotten to meet a lot of famous people. I got to work with Charlize Theron. I've gotten to work with Keanu Reeves, and they're all pretty cool. It's funny. You think that Keanu is like one of the nicest guys ever, and Charlize she's cool, but she's very guarded, and necessarily so. She has to be as guarded as she is, but she was cool. But you can also tell she does not suffer fools gladly. But I think a lot of people think that a lot of stars are weird and all that. It's usually not the stars that are weird, it's the people around them that are.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. The people that become stars change normally because the people around them change once they become famous. I've seen it happen. And it's quite jarring to see the changes in family and friends, and therefore the person who becomes famous has to change, and not necessarily for the better, but just for self-protection, self-preservation. It's very interesting to see.
Hmm.
I was going to say, are any of those Allied ads still on YouTube? Do you know?
No, I don't think so. I would have to probably try to find a clip for us to show it, but no, it's not. It's nowhere. You know what? You know what? Let me check. Let me not say
Sure,
that and then be
but very
totally
quick.
wrong. So I will check and see if it is, but I don't think so. It's been a few years, but you never
Okay.
know.
Well, while you're doing that, why
Hmm.
don't I put up the second of your network news ones so
Okay,
you can
great. Yeah, this
have that?
episode 2 of Virtually News, which I did right around the time of the 2016 election. And I did it out of necessity because I felt I was losing my mind.
Okay. I look forward to that.
Okay, great.
Okay, so here we go with this one. I'm going to put it in now. I, lo- I love the shot you've got as your starting point.
This one is a little bit shorter, folks, because I didn't have quite as much resources and time, but I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It is, yes. I wish you would do more.
Yeah,
Yes,
You
me
wish I'd do
too.
more?
arm twisting, yes. Yeah, you really should, because
Thank
they
you.
are so funny.
Thank you. I want to, and God knows that in the last few years, there's been plenty of material for me to use,
Yeah.
almost too much. It's just an abundance of riches in terms of what I could talk about. But I wouldn't be able to do anything else. I wouldn't, I wouldn't be able to audition. I wouldn't be able to act. I wouldn't be able to take care of real life things. I would be 24/7, 365
Yeah,
with material for virtually news. But trust me, there will be more. But my next project is oh yeah, Pierce.
Yeah, I
Yes,
saw that today, and
yeah, I saw
you
it
know,
last night. Wow,
yours is
very
much funnier, but it's explosive. Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, an abundance of riches, plenty to work with. My
Yes.
next project, which I've actually started filming some of, is actually a I don't want to call it like a Twilight Zone because it's not really exactly that, but it reminds me of a Twilight Zone in that it's little small little tiny films that are all sort of connected together. Um, and so I have to finish doing that, but I will, and I'll eventually get back to virtually news as well.
that'd be great. Okay, we have got another real life clip. The Ali Bank.
Yes, luckily Dawn McGee, who was the other actress in the commercial with me, she posted it on YouTube. So,
Yay!
yay! Thanks, Dawn.
Right.
Can you post a link in chat too?
Yeah,
Yeah, some people can't do the link doesn't work for them.
there we go.
Great, thank you.
Let me do that again because I just hit return rather than submit, and this is a bit fussy. No, it's going slow at the moment. Let's try again.
Okay. That was another commercial. That was a commercial that was so much fun to work on. Was the Ally Bank one? Loved it. It's actually a director that I've worked with. Wow, I've worked with him 5 times, and he's a great commercial director.
No, this is not changing for some reason.
No, it's not. I guess we could just post the link
Yeah,
chat.
I've posted the link. I'm going to give it one.
There it is again for those who need it.
More try. Let me try that. Maybe I'm sending the wrong thing.
Oh, Ace says that you're posting the same link from the election video.
All right, that could explain.
That might explain the problem.
Yeah. Okay, let's try. Let's try posting the real link. Yay, here we go. So double click now, you should get it. I love that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was so much fun to work on. And
Oh,
like I
that
said, it's a
little
director I've
Sony
worked with
dog. Yeah.
many times. I think 5 times I've worked with a director. And yeah, and he brings me back, and I thank him for it. I thank the casting director, Beth Melsky, and I thank the Jim Jenkins, the director. So
That's great.
yeah.
So, got plans to do more, which is brilliant. What advice would you give to someone wanting to start doing machinima?
Well, that's a very good question. Everybody does machinima differently. Like Huckleberry Hacks is here, and I'm in his new film, which everybody knows about, the sequel to Stonewall Warhide or Varhide, and he and I work very differently, which I've been actually found a lot of fun, because at first I'm like, wait, what? When he and I talked, because I wasn't used to working that way. I'm so traditional in many ways, and he's so untraditional, which actually has been quite refreshing. But I would say my advice is find what works for you. For me, going the old route of writing the story and storyboarding it, mapping it out, having a shooting schedule, because that's the way that I've been trained as an actor in real life, works for me. I would say, so find if that works for you, or if another way works for you. And then I would say this, and I think this is the most important advice at all. Excuse my expression, folks. Excuse my language. Fuck all that shit and just try it.
Right.
Because if you try to get it right, if you try to get the stars aligned, you'll be waiting forever, and they'll be putting your body in the ground by the time you're ready to start. So it's the same. It really is. It's the same advice I give people who want to be in the entertainment business or want to be actors, and they're thinking, oh my God, is it too late? I'm like, no, it's only too late when you can't remember your lines, or you're dead. Those are the only 2 reasons why you can't start. So other than that, give it a try. So I would say, try it. Like Chantal said, there's fraps, there's all these things out there that are free, so that you can record your work, so that you can film your work. There are editing softwares that are either free or very, very inexpensive. So I would say just try something, maybe do something small just to see what it's like, so that you can learn what you need to learn. And if you know that you don't want to do something, then find someone who does. If you know that editing is not something that you want in your wheelhouse, then find somebody who likes to edit and have them edit it for you. But try. And try different things. Try writing, try directing, try acting, try editing, try posting, try producing. Just try. You don't know what you might be really, really good at unless you try. And be open to trying different things. But also, this is very important, I think a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of machinima where there was no story. It looked great. As a working actor, I can tell you that nothing drives me more crazy than a beautifully filmed boring piece with no story. If I don't see a story, I get bored and I don't want to watch. And it sort of applies to when I coach. I'm an acting coach in real life as well. One of my longtime teachers, a very well-known acting teacher and coach, and so I'm one of his associates now. And one of the things that he has always taught is about story. We're storytellers. We're not actors. We're storytellers. So be a storyteller. If you're going to do machinima, be a storyteller. Don't just think of how it looks. Think of how the story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's right, Morgana. It must be story driven. It can look great, but make sure you have a story.
And I was going to say, we have a trailer for a story to show.
Yes.
Imminently. But before that, I was just going to say, if you want to get involved and do that, go for it. Make something.
Yes.
We are actually running a competition. Ace, if you can hang on 5 minutes, I promise you it will be worth it.
Oh, I didn't even know about this. What's this?
Yeah. So we are running the first Fantasy Fair Film Festival competition.
Oh, wow.
But before we talk more about that, I have one last film to show. Okay, this is one that is starring AJ, and as well as doing Huckleberry Hax's film, she's also doing a new one from, let me just set it up so you can all see it.
I'm a busy gal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's changed.
Here we go.
Yeah, there we
Harlan
go.
Quinn and the Omega Hex. Yeah, here's the link. This first episode of this is going to premiere on Sunday, and I'll be posting full details of it shortly on the website. Okay. So that's launching episode 1 on May the 1st.
All right.
We'll be doing it over here. But I'm going to go back to the fact you can all get involved because of the Fantasy Fair Film Festival competition. So it's based in the Fairlands, and there will be 3 categories, each of which will be awarded a prize. And the prizes are being specially designed. They are something rather gorgeous to take away. The wafflies, we're calling them. Category 1 is fiction, and that would be 5-minute films maximum. Narrative stories, as AJ was talking about, so important, set in the filmlands. Sorry, set in the Fairlands, not the filmlands. Category 2 is factual, 5 minutes. It could be a documentary, a tour of a region, a special Fairland event. If the creator's willing, a short interview perhaps. Category 3, live stream. This is longer, 10 minutes. We're asking people who want to enter this category either to edit a 10-minute sequence from the live stream or give a time frame of 10 minutes from a longer live stream. And all films must be 100% shot on the regions of this year's Fantasy Fair, and the film should reflect the spirit of Fantasy Fair. Okay, Chantal, do you want to go on?
Yes, sure. Film should not contain. I'm just checking my voice, sorry. Film should not contain copyrighted material. You watch your music. It has to be license free or licensed to you. Or use a YouTube library. That was a very good tip last night.
Yeah.
And they should not contain adult content.
Because
Your film.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that one, yeah. Your film also
Yes,
should
that's a
be
whole
played-
nother film festival.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah, we'll organize that maybe one year, but not here.
Yeah.
Your film should be placed on a recognized platform like YouTube or Vimeo, and the address sent to Fantasy Fair. I can't say it. Fantasy Fair short story at gmail.com. I'll give that link in chat. So do submit your films there, but they have to be submitted by April 30. So you've got 3 days. But it's really worth it. It'll be first off, you have fantastic trophies, the waffles, and you will write history if you enter this. Films in competition will be shown daily at 11 a.m. from May 2nd till May 7th. And the prizes for the top film in each category will be awarded at a special ceremony on May the 8th with a big, huge after party. And in addition, films sent to us not in competition will be shown in the 11 a.m. slot in week 2. So please specify if you want your film to be shown in competition, because not everybody does want to enter a competition, or out of competition, or when you think I made a great film and it's too long, you can still enter it and we will show it, even though it can't enter the competition. The films will be judged by a panel of judges, but also 50% contribution from the audience, from the public. So you can vote for your favorite. People will be able to vote for individual films by making donations in special kiosks. And all Linden's race, of course, will go to Relay for Life. How can you resist that?
Yeah. So it's good for Relay for Life, it's good for you as filmmakers or potential filmmakers, and it's good for the film festival because it'll give us lots of content for next week. So we're really looking forward to seeing your films.
And your films will be shown here. That's so wonderful. So many people visit here. Everybody will see your work. And I'm, of course, glaring to my right to AvaJean.
Yeah, I'm glaring.
So if there ever was a day you should make a little machinima, it's now. We're just blackmailing her, aren't we? That's not
We are.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much, AJ, for coming today and talking to us. This has been a wonderful session and really looking forward to seeing your next film. So enjoyed. And hoping that Billions comes on to UK TV and the Endgame as well.
I hope so. And thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. It was so good to see you also.
Yes.
And thank you
Okay.
all, audience. If anybody has any last minute questions before we go, now's the time. If you have any questions about what we do or even about real life stuff, real life acting or real life being in the entertainment business, ask away before we, can you, pants up, please. Give me a break. I love it.